Hello everyone and welcome to MINDFULLMESS. This is your host, Zoe speaking as usual, and today I'm joined by my beautiful sister. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Ginger and I'm 18 years old.
Yes, your birthday was on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, she's my sister. Well, I just said that. But I wanted to add a new segment in the podcast. So I have the book Homebody by Rupi Kaur with me. And I will give you the pleasure to choose which poem that I will read in the podcast. So I will just do this with the book, this, and then you put your finger in between. Okay. I'm too in love with my life to be spilling all over the floor for the next man who gives me butterflies when I could look in a mirror and take my own breath away.
Okay.
You're not really into poetry, right?
No.
Yeah. I like poetry a lot, but my sister isn't too much into it. But yeah, we have been sisters for a whole lot. That's such a stupid question. But we've known each other for a few years now, so and we have a laughing cope. Like the way we cope with things is with laughing. So
yes.
Before getting into the episode, I want to have a little trigger warning because we will discuss addiction, death, jail, psychiatry, all these kind of things, because her mom passed away how many years ago?
I think 4
already?
years.
Yeah, 4 years ago, when she was 13.
Yes.
So we will discuss that today. So if you're easily triggered by things like that, maybe this is not the episode for you. But yeah, let's get started. First question for you is throughout your life, what was your throughout your whole life, what was your relationship like with your mom?
It was good, but also not so good because I didn't see her a lot the last years. But I called her every Wednesday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
15 minutes or so.
Oh, I just thought it was funny how you say Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Wednesday.
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 I don't know.
Yeah, because she had a disease of addiction.
Yes.
Because it is a disease, people often think it's something you choose, but it's not like that. So I just wanted to tell that. But yeah, she had the disease of addiction and she was in a psychiatry for almost her whole life, or
sometimes she was in jail.
Yeah, and can you explain a bit more why she was in jail then?
She needed help. So if there is no place in a
psychiatry,
then you need to go to jail. So when she ran away out of the psychiatry, she needed to go to jail because someone else would take her place in the psychiatry.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah, and in jail they don't have the right people to help her. Mm-hmm.
It's also not a place to.
Yeah, to send someone with mental issues. It's for criminals, not people who suffer from.
Yeah,
addiction.
She didn't do anything, and when someone with an addiction wants help, they don't help you. But if you don't want help, you need to go to jail and wait 1 or 2 years before there's a place in a
psychiatry. Yeah.
Yes, that. Yes, you have to wait a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like that's a really bad thing about, well, in Belgium at least, because
Yes.
it doesn't help them. Like, it doesn't help anyone when you have an addiction and then you are put in jail where you have a lot of bad influences of the other
Yes.
people, because then they trigger you easily to
Yes.
like take drugs again or something like that.
Yes, it is. It is also easy to bring drugs in jail.
Mhm.
They don't know this. If you
Yeah.
visit someone, you can put it in your
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah, because a lot of people do
Yes,
that. Mhm.
and they don't see it, and you just give it to him when you are visiting, and you sit on the table together.
Mhm.
So it is easy.
Yeah, and that's a really bad thing, because then you're
Yes.
in the addiction. Like,
Yeah.
it keeps going. But I did write a story on Erasmus about your mom. Well, it's based on the story of
Yes.
your mom and you, because, well, you haven't heard it yet. There are adaptations and things that aren't right, because when I publish this, or if it's online, people won't know
Yes.
who I'm talking about. Well, now people know, but if you see it
Yeah.
online or something, so I will read it to you, and maybe we can talk a bit about it, and maybe some things you, well, things you think
Yeah.
of when I. So yeah, I will read the story to you now, and the story is called Blue. Well, after I wrote the story and stuff, I will just go back into some
Yes.
details why I put it there and stuff. 25 calls, 59 text messages, and 11 voicemails. That's how many times I tried to reach you. No answer, not even an I'm okay. It has only been 3 days, but it feels like eternity. I think I saw the corners of my room so many times it became a circle. I'm not even sure anymore if my walls are pink or blue. Do my walls even have a color? When I was younger, I visited you 2 times in a week. Wednesdays and Saturdays. On Wednesday, we always walked through the dark green gardens that were filled with these awful looking benches that didn't make sense. You couldn't sit on them, or they would break in half, so walking was our only option when the weather was gloomy and dark. On sunny days, we were always on the hunt to find a perfect little daisy. It was the only flower that grew in the dark green grass. We always asked a question to the daisy and started picking the petals. One petal meant yes and the other one no. The last petal left was the answer to the question. It was my favorite part of the day. The last question we asked the daisy was, "Will you never stop visiting me?" And of course the answer was yes. On Saturdays, we ate lunch together. Only then it was allowed to be in the cafeteria. A lot of families went on Saturdays to visit someone they loved. My favorite meal was the chicken with rice and curry. It was a real delicatessen. I know you didn't really like the food because you ate it every day, but on Saturdays you were always so happy to eat at the cafeteria again. It was the only day you weren't eating alone but with me and Dad. After lunch, we went to your room and you braided my hair, 2 braids to be exact. Even now, I still put my hair into 2 braids on Saturdays. I really wished I could bring you home after that, but Dad always said that I couldn't. I was still really young, so it was quite difficult to understand why you couldn't come home with us. When I got older, I didn't visit you every week. I was ashamed of what my friends would think. I was ashamed of my mother. I would visit you once a month, and every time I saw you, I drifted more away from that person. I didn't want to look like you, a drug addict. It was the worst compliment people could give me. "You really look like your mom, darling," one of the nurses said to me when I arrived. I didn't visit you that day. The thought of going into your room and finding the similarities we had was like drinking orange juice after brushing your teeth. You relapsed that day. You relapsed because of me. I didn't want that to happen again, so I started visiting you weekly. I wanted to have a relationship with the woman who I hated being resembled with. But you were still my mom, so I wanted to make sure I did everything I could to have a normal mother-daughter relationship. On Monday, my dad got a phone call. They said they lost you. But how could they lose you if you even couldn't go out? How did they lose you out of sight? Did they just forget to look inside your room? They must have made a mistake. This must be some kind of prank call. This is not real. This is not happening. I pinch myself hoping to wake up from this nightmare, but I am still in the same spot in the living room. My dad's face is glued to his phone even when the call has already ended. He didn't dare to make eye contact with me. What would he say? How was he going to tell me that they lost my mom? I feel the walls moving closer to me. I struggle to take a breath, and everything turns into a dark hole which I can't escape. I'm trying to get a hold of myself, but I'm just slipping away. I'm so far from being here, my dad needs to scream at me to wake me up. He holds me tight while trying to get me back on this earth, until I'm back in this nightmare that is my reality. I started calling you, hoping you would answer, but it went straight to voicemail. I left a voicemail almost every time I called you, and they all started to sound the same. Hey mom, I just wanted to know if you are okay because they called me to say you weren't there. I won't be mad, I promise, so please come back. If you can come back, can you just let me know if you are safe? I love you, don't forget that. Please call me back. Nothing. Not a single answer. Not a single text. Just nothing. Hours started passing by like the sun setting in Norway in the summer. They didn't. Every second felt like an hour, and every minute that I didn't get a call back felt like eternity. My mom had been struggling with substance abuse as long as I can remember. Because of her substance abuse, she lost track of reality, which ended up with her stealing miscellaneous stuff at shops. You would always come home with some kind of story to cover up the fact that you stole from the shop. You would pretend they gave it to you while my dad knew they didn't. He loved you too much to face the life he was living. He couldn't just leave you because you were still the mother of his child. It started with earrings, but it quickly got out of hand when you got caught stealing a phone. They arrested you, and after some drug tests they submitted you to a psychiatric hospital. I was only 2 years old when that happened, and from that moment my dad had to take care of me. On Wednesday morning, we still hadn't heard anything from you. When I tried calling you that morning, it went straight to a voice message saying, "Sorry, this number is no longer available." It was at that very moment I realized you were gone. My phone turned into ashes when I threw it so hard to the ground the screen cracked in a million pieces. I was angry, I was sad, I was a typical person who lost their mom, like the most basic teenage movies. That was it. I had nothing more to me than the, "Oh, she's the girl that lost her mom because she was an addict" look when I walked on the streets or when I entered class after not going for a month. When I wasn't able to call you that day, the police started a search operation because you did escape from a psychiatric hospital, so they had to. They even searched my house because maybe you were hiding here. I just felt the loss I was going to have to deal with, and the first thing they did was searching my room. I didn't understand. On Wednesday, they still didn't find you, but later that night at around 3, some people were knocking at our door. I really wished it was you. I wished so hard that you were back. I wished so hard that I could hug you when I opened the door. It wasn't you, it was the police. With their dark blue uniforms, they entered our house and asked us to sit down. I watched enough movies to know how this was going to end, and I didn't want to admit to it. This was not going to be my reality. I didn't have a choice. I needed to sit down and listen to these people I've never seen before talking about the woman that I was supposed to know. I thought I really knew you, but I thought wrong. You took an overdose. I can't believe you took a fucking overdose alone in an abandoned building somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I wish I could have taken it with you, but you decided to leave me alone in this misery that's called reality. Why do I have tears in my eyes? I always have tears in my eyes when I read this story. I don't. I need to take a breath for a second. Yeah, like you heard that a lot of details I adapted a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you in some places I'm talking about your mom, but I adapted a lot, and from other stories I tried to combine a lot. But what did you think about the story?
It was good, but it isn't like it was.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Yeah, it's
not
definitely not the same.
Yeah, maybe you can give like more explanations, like maybe how the thing went when she went missing.
Well, the people from the psychiatry called us, and my dad came to me when I was sleeping, when yes, your mom ran away again, and I was like, oh, okay. This time I didn't care because I was used to it. It was the 7th time or something. So I say, okay. Next day I went to school, and I still haven't heard anything from her. And so a few days later, my dad heard from her, and he helped her to get again to the psychiatry. So, and because they hadn't called the police yet, so everything was going to be okay, but she didn't believe him. So the next day, the police came around 9 o'clock. And my friend was with me, Macy, as she was with me, and my dad say, you need to go upstairs, I'm going to talk to him first. And I was listening in the hallway upstairs, and I heard the police saying we found her, but I didn't think there was something wrong. I just thought they found her, she need to go back to jail. So my dad came upstairs, and he said, I need to tell you something. And I was laughing. She isn't dead, right? So joking around, and my dad said yes, and I couldn't believe it first, like I needed to force myself to cry because I didn't realize it. So then I called my sister
on FaceTime.
Yes, on FaceTime. And she was crying too.
Yeah, because like we are from the same dad but not the same mother. So I was at my mom's when you called, and there were friends there, and you FaceTimed. I was sitting in the sofa, and then I started crying. I went to the kitchen, and then my mom started crying.
Yes.
It was one cry fest.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I took the wrong bus.
Yeah, she wanted to come to us, and she was going to take the bus, but
I ended up at the wrong place, so you had to get me. Yeah, but I remember, well, to be honest, the funeral of your mom was one of the hardest days in my life.
Yes, I know. I was laughing because my mom's cousin was there, and I haven't seen him.
Oh my god, when he hugged you, that was so funny.
Yeah, and I was like, let me go. And I was looking at my sister, but he kept hugging me, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, especially you're really vulnerable at that moment, and when someone you don't really know starts hugging you, it's like really uncomfortable.
It was so weird. So people I didn't know were there, but there were 10 people.
Yeah, like really close family only. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I hated that day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like then it's real or something.
Yes, we eat fries after.
Did we eat fries after?
Yes. I knew that.
Why is that so typical for us to do?
There wasn't a thing.
Oh, a reception.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
So wasn't. So yeah, we decided to eat fries.
And like with grief and stuff, like how did you deal or handle the loss of your mom?
Yeah, I was used to it to not see her, but it was hard. But yeah, I was used to not see her because I didn't saw her 2 years, and then I saw her 3 or 4 times, but then she died. So it was hard. It's still hard
because you were like feeling like you were just starting to build.
Yes, because I always can talk.
I could talk.
I could talk to her when there was something wrong. She always listened, and she was always there for me. So it was a.
We are not English, by the way, so that's why she sometimes struggles because we are actually from Flanders, so that's why Flanders. Yeah, but sorry.
Yes, so it's hard. She isn't there. She promised every time everything's going to be okay. I'm going to live in a house. You can come visit me. You can come sleep with me like a normal family. But it never happened.
And do you feel like because of that you sometimes have issues trusting people, or do you don't
Actually, I don't, but
Mhm.
my friends told me so that
Maybe when you don't notice it.
then I don't open up to people, that I'm really closed about things.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Yeah.
I am, because
But sometimes
yeah.
it's really like internal and you don't realize it yourself.
Yeah, I don't.
Until other people will be like, oh, you're really closed off or something. And then
Yeah.
when you go back in time, maybe it's like, oh, maybe that's the reason. But, well, you never know.
Yeah.
But you didn't talk to a psychologist or anything?
Once, because I have to from school, because I was crying in class. My mom died 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's normal. So they said I needed to go to talk to someone from CLB. Yeah. So yeah, I did once, and they were like, "Van, why didn't you ever go to someone to talk about this?" So all that kind of stuff. But I'm used to it. For me, it's normal.
It's, yeah, maybe because you were so young, you adapted to it.
Yeah, from when I was 3 years old, my mom wasn't home with me anymore. So
Yeah, I feel like
I can't remember her at home, only once, when she was mad at me, and I have to go to my room, and you got so.
I do remember with the spider.
Oh yes, yes. And she was sleeping, and she said, "Go to your dad." And we went there, and it was so big spider.
Yeah, we were playing. Yeah, we were just playing because we were. No, because we thought we were playing. And one time, and out of this box there was this huge spider that came
he's
out.
black with.
Oh, he was so fat. It was a fat spider. Ugh.
Oh.
Yuck! I hate spiders.
Yes. Oh.
But like, is there a memory, like a fun memory you have?
Not really. I only remember the bad things. Because there were a lot of bad things. Nothing that is really good. And I just wanted to say, because we didn't state that she died because of an overdose, but she didn't commit suicide. That's an important thing to. Yes, but in her life she tried
Yeah.
to suicide, but she didn't.
Someone else gave her the drug. She didn't decide to.
It wasn't meant to be dead, so it was an accident.
Yeah. Maybe I just wanted to make sure people knew that.
Yes.
Because it's quite an important.
Yes.
Because there was like a thing. You had to go to court, right?
Yes, there was.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So there was a whole investigation.
Yeah.
So how she died, because there were 3 people. There were 3 people. One sold the drugs. One injected it to her, and the other people I actually don't know.
Maybe some people she had contact with.
He was there or something. I don't know. So the man that gave her the overdose, he saw that she didn't move or anything. He thought she was just sleeping, and a few hours later, he actually called the ambulance.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's quite sad, because it's like hours.
Yes, he set her in the shower, trying to wake her up, but it was too late already. So they had to do a whole investigation. So a year after that, we had to go to court to. They have to get their punishment for what happened.
Yeah.
So I was there, and the one person who gave her the overdose didn't expect me to be there, so he couldn't even look at me. He didn't even say sorry to me. He was just there, and he wanted a last drop.
He didn't want a lot of punishment.
So he has a child.
He tried getting away with it.
Yeah, he has a child of 3 years old, and his wife killed herself.
Oh shit.
Yes, so he started to talk about that, so the judge feel pity for him. So, but it's
really sad that he had to go through that, but to use that.
It hasn't anything to do with my mom. Like, he knew my mom had a child. Me,
Yeah.
they went to the same
psychiatry.
Yeah, yes. And the last time I saw my mom, he was there too, and my mom said, "Oh, he is in love with me," so that kind of stuff. And I said to her, "Don't trap,
don't don't follow him or in his things.
Don't trust him."
Yeah, don't trust him. Yeah.
But she did, and she ran away, and yes, didn't go good. Yeah, she died.
Sorry,
so...
we don't think this is funny at all, but
no,
it's not funny. But it's just our way of dealing with stuff.
Yes. For me, it's normal to talk about this because I'm used to it. I did expect that she would die that way, but not so fast, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're used to it. You too. Yes.
Indeed, it's really sad to say that we kind of knew she would go that way, but we didn't expect her to go that fast.
Yeah. I still miss her, but it is what it is. She's dead, so nothing to do about it yet.
But she will always be with you.
I hope so.
Hello! Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Sorry. But yeah, maybe we can just talk a little bit about, is there anything else you want to share or tell about it?
Not really, I don't
know. No. Well, I do want to say everyone who has a parent or a family member or a friend who suffers from addiction, we know the situation, so...
Yes, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, and if you need to talk to someone, or if you want to talk to us or to me or something, you can always send a message on Instagram at MINDFULLMESS Podcasts. Or if you want professional help, go do that, because it's important to take care of yourself. Yes. But yeah, maybe we can just conclude this podcast with a little bit about our relationship with each other, because maybe it's a little lighthearted thing to end the podcast with, because this is quite a heavy topic. But yeah, we are weird people. Yes. No, but it's kind of true though. How do we explain this?
I don't know.
Last evening we were like, what are we gonna do? And then we just went outside and took pictures, but they are all so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are now 18 years old.
Yes.
Ready to drive with a car? No.
No, I can't drive it.
Yeah, no, you don't have your permit yet.
Yes, but Dad also can't drive it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, my dad, our dad, had a brain
bleeding. But it's another word. I looked it up, but it was something really difficult. So I don't think it's it's my something with him.
Oh, maybe I can
say it's something with hemorrhage also. I don't know. Hemorrhage.
Well, a vein in his brain popped.
Yes.
So he had bleeding in his brain, but he's okay. He had his surgery on Thursday.
Yes, but he can't drive for 6 months. So I can't learn to drive because he can't drive. So yeah. Yeah,
but he has to focus first on himself.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm really glad you were on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Oh, funny memory. We were once at the beach and we drank a bit, and then we had to pee. So we each went to the ocean and peed in the ocean. So that's a fun anecdote.
But you can't pee on the beach, everyone is going to see that. So
you went into the ocean and then I went into the ocean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, about the story, I do have it online if you want to read it again. Because there are some details in it that I actually forgot to discuss.
Yeah, but the story you wrote is different.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's also...
it's also...
Do you feel like you were sometimes ashamed of your mom?
Not really, but more people were going to judge me. I remember in school when I was in Very later.
When you were around 11 years old.
Yes, when I was 11 years old, there was
An exchange.
Yeah, an exchange with people from the Netherlands, and I asked for people to stay over with me from the Netherlands, but they were like, oh, your mom has an addiction. We want to see if your home is safe, like our home is normal, safe, like always. And they needed to come to see our home, to see if we were stable and all those things, like, those weird.
Yeah, and then it's like really awkward situations.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like we could keep talking, but otherwise this podcast would be hours and hours because we have some life stories to tell, but maybe in the future you can come back on an episode. But yeah, I want to thank you to talk about this, and I appreciate you as a person.
Thank you.
You are beautiful!
Thank you.
And my sister. So
okay, bye.
Fight her.
What fight?
Okay, bye. See you in the next episode of Mindful Mess.